Yeah. Masvidal's a bad motherfucker and a very clever fighter. He's one of my favorite guys to watch fight because he's so intelligent. What a fascinating fight that is to me. Because people want to pretend Colby can't fight.
I know, right?
That style of shit talking is infuriating. And you can't say a goddamn thing to him because he's in a character. Yeah. So if he pisses you off, you say something back to him, yeah, why don't you go suck Trump's dick? Like, I would. Mr. Trump's a good man. I bet his dick tastes like lollipops. He can say whatever he wants.
Colby gets it, man.
Listen.
He gets it. He's full old school Ric Flair with a new style twist, and he's a real fighter, man.
He's a real fighter. He's absolutely one of the best welterweights in the world, and this is a very, very close fight.
And all this promo stuff that he does, it's because he wants to be. It's because he's a learner. He came and saw me perform at the Improv in Florida. And afterwards, we were in the green room, and he's like, I learned a lot about timing and beats from watching you up there tonight.
Oh.
Getting those, how you get these laughs, using your timing and your pauses and this. I need to do more of that. I'm like, yeah, dude, exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people have their egos, this and that, or it's just about the fight game.
Not about that at all.
Right. Please tell me you're following Colby on Instagram, right?
Of course I am.
Oh, the best. The videos with the girls where he just comes out with his hands on their butts. Hey, losers.
Hey, nerds.
Greetings, nerds and virgins. Greetings, nerds and virgins. Greetings, nerds and virgins.
It's straight up pro wrestling promos that he shoot. Look at this. He's got a Trump hat on, standing in front of Trump Towers. He's doing these promos with all these girls in bikinis. He's making it seem like he's a goof, and you don't notice along the way that this guy's stomping world-class fighters, stomping them. What he's done is, it's like a master class in promotion for all the young fighters coming up. I'm a big fan of Masvidal skillfully. I think he's a really exceptional fighter. He's very clever. He also has a very unusual stance. Like, he stands straight up. Like, he stands like a Muay Thai fighter. And it's one of the reasons why his takedown defense is so good. He's confident that he could stand straight up like that. And his striking is very crisp, very clean. And he's clever. Like, he sets traps, he catches you. Like, he's just a fun guy. Like, I had him on the podcast, and I said, the real question is whether or not a Ben Askren can get a hold of you. He's like, he can get a hold of these nuts. And, like, that's him. That fucking Ben Askren thing was goddamn genius. And when you see him prep for it, when you watch the training footage, that he did that over, and not only that, he prepped for the angle, right? Leaned against the cage. So he like presented this and then turned a corner, went to the right, and then charged at him. So that Ben Askren would have like, I'm just going to grab this guy. Like, literally, he set two different traps. The running at him and then the turning the corner and then running at him. And Ben Askren, like, instincts just dove in. And he couldn't help himself. That was the cherry on top. And that photo of him in midair landing that knee to Ben's face, jacked. You see his six pack and everything's angry look in his face. That's one of the classic all-time MMA photos. And then, of course, the murking of Nate Diaz. He beat the fuck out of Nate Diaz. That was a crazy fight.
Don't forget Darren Till put his lights out too.
Yes, with a beautiful step forward left hook combination. He's a monster. He's a monster. He's hard for anybody to deal with. And the fact that he stopped Darren Till when Darren Till was this terrifying striker that had just beat down Donald Cerrone, you know, Darren Till was a scary guy. And to put him away that way, like a stunning KO. But Usman just demolished him in that second fight. Demolished him. That's what separates like very good fighters from all-time greats.
What's changed from him, I wouldn't say so much his style, but his mindset.
Yeah, he talked about that, the resurrection. Yeah. You know when it happened? He went on a reality show. Do you know the story? He talked about that on this podcast too. He went on this reality show and it was a fucking nightmare. It was like in the jungle, this reality show. Like, he had to go into villages, try to get food. It was a South American reality show. And apparently he was there for a long ass time. Wow. And he had no contact with the outside world. It was a disaster. Hated the show. But it gave him a lot of chance to think about his life, about where he was, and then what his future is going to be. And realize that maybe some things had been holding him back. Yeah. And one thing that had been holding him back was he was trying not to lose versus trying to win. And that he was a little bit worried about his condition because maybe he didn't train enough. Maybe he didn't prepare correctly. And then he just decided, look, I'm going to go for it. What people don't know about Colby, what you know about Colby is when you're with him in person, super nice guy.
Oh, he's actually soft-spoken.
He's a great guy.
You know, he's had dinner at the house. We had elk and just polite, soft-spoken. Yeah. My wife and daughter, everybody's there just being as nice as can be.
He's a gentleman.
That's who he is.
That's the real guy.
Yeah, for for sure.
This other thing is like a character that he does, which is so fascinating.
It works. I mean, I watched the interview him and DC just did just a couple days ago. DC gave him every opportunity. He's like, do you ever get tired? Do you ever sit at home and say, I would give it a rest and just be? And he's just like, no. He's sticking to the script.
Yeah. He has openly now said it. We talked about it on the podcast, but he's saying it now. He did it on the Candace Owens show. He's like, they were going to cut him. They were going to cut him. They had told him that his style wasn't fan friendly. And so he beats Damian Maia in Brazil and calls him a bunch of filthy animals. Everybody goes crazy. And they're like, oh, hold on a second. We might have something here. So he talked about it on the podcast. Look, I got to do something. My career is in jeopardy. Like, I'm going to create a character. So he created this character. Like, I've called his fights before. And I called his fights early in his career. Before that, he was just a really tough guy who had a great gas tank, who I knew from my friend Cam Haynes. He trains with Cam Haynes.
Right.
So just imagine the kind of gas tank the fucker must have. If you do anything with Cam Haynes, you have to have a crazy gas tank. If you can't take him out in 1, 2, or 3, and you can't maintain that pace, and if you try to take him out and you emptied your gas tank, he never empties his gas tank. Colby has a great wrestling pedigree. He's fantastic takedown defense. He can wrestle his ass off. His cardio's never ending. We saw in the Robbie Lawler fight, he puts pressure on you, lands ridiculous strikes, can stand in there against one of the elite strikers ever in the welterweight division in Robbie Lawler. And the thing is about his style, this thing that he's doing, his promotion style, with the cheap suits and the fucking book, you think it's a joke.
Yeah.
But then you watch his fights. If you didn't have any information about him and his character, and you just watch his fights, you'd be like, fuck, man, this guy's driven. This guy's fucking driven.
Yeah.
But then you add into that this character, and then everybody's pretending, you know, that, oh, that guy's a joke. That guy's a joke. That joke, he's running over
everybody.
Like, just because you don't like Trump.
Yeah.
And it's a genius thing to attach himself to Trump. What we're seeing is a master class in promotion and adaptation. Yep. He adapted, he created this character, and this character it's so obviously a character, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's so obvious. He's not wearing that suit on purpose. He thinks it's good looking. No, he's trying to be a dork.
Yeah.
He's trying to be a pro-Trump dork. If I was Trump, I'd be a little annoyed.
Yeah.
I'd be like, hey man, I see what the fuck you're doing. You're making yourself look like a goof because you support me. So what happened with Colby? You're friends with Colby. What led him to switch camps? Because he was with ATT forever.
It seemed like there's a bunch of drama down there because Poirier's down there, and he said that there was drama going in to train, and he just wanted to get away from that.
Didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah, and that's a big organization down there. Basically, it's a lot of fighters, and so then he switched to this small gym. They give him the full attention. So
yeah, well, he brings the drama. He shouldn't be shocked. Who the fuck causes more drama than Colby?
I know, yeah.
Still,
good
though,
stuff.
That's how he's so popular. It's both things, which is rare. Like, he has incredible skill level. He's as tough as they come. And he talks a lot of shit.
Yeah, that's good.
In the Usman fight,
Yes.
when he's down and he keeps clipping him, do you think that should be stopped or that's okay?
The referee has to pull him off.
Because he clipped him a few more times after
It's
he was
super necessary.
for him to hit him a few more times.
It's super necessary.
I'm asking.
You don't know what I'm saying. Super necessary is like when Masvidal knocked out Ben Askren, he hit him with a flying knee, and he punched him a bunch of times on the ground. And the reporters asked him, is it necessary?
Oh, super
for
necessary.
you to keep punching him like that? He goes, oh, it's super necessary.
Right.
So Masvidal, like, you reap what you sow. And he, to his credit, Masvidal is a fucking gangster.
Yeah.
To his credit, he got KO'd, and he said, I'm a big fan of that punch that knocked me out.
Yeah, that's
He
huge.
said that. He said he was a big fan of
insane.
Kamaru Usman landing the perfect punch and knocking him out for the first time in his career. Also, when I interviewed him after the fight, Masvidal had the classiest response I've ever experienced with a guy. Talked so much shit, hyped up a fight, did what he did, fought his heart out, got knocked the fuck out with one punch, and was all class.
I can't wait.
Yeah. It's going to be an amazing fight.